Go!
Hello and welcome to what's our second stream. Yeah, I'm on camera. I still can't get used to this.
Hello. This is the United Kingdom. We are not the BBC. It is 12 minutes past 7.
I don't think either of us speak the Queen's English.
No, well, nobody speaks the Queen's English anymore. Have you ever seen like really old, or like David Attenborough is like first bits on telly, and they go, "Hello, this is the BBC, and we are going to tell you what's been happening in the country this evening."
That's quite good. That's if you can do the rest of this stream like that. Would be...
Oh God, no, that'd be really tiring. I'm sure I've told you before. I used to work in a call centre, like one of my first ever jobs, like when I was like 18 or whatever. And it was like quite boring selling car insurance. So to entertain myself, I used to put accents on. So you'd ring up direct line and it be me, but you might get my northern accent or you might get my rather poor Welsh accent. What else did
I'm going to ask you to do it now.
I know.
No, maybe not. We don't want to offend any Welsh listeners.
Well, you've got
listeners, watchers.
Disclaimer. Oh, hang on a minute. I've lost my chat feed. What's going on here? Something went wrong. Try reloading the page. See, leave me with technicalities and it's all going wrong. Right, let me flip back to the starting soon screen and then I'll come back. Uno momento. Well, there we go. That seems to be all right. No chat box. Oh, Oh, it is there. Let me send a test message. Oops.
Testing. London calling.
Oops, I broke it. Well, it's coming up on there. It's just not coming up on screen. Hey, Bayek.
Technology's great when it works.
I know. I'm not best. I don't think I've done bad, really, trying to figure out all this stuff.
I often think that because we got smart light bulbs in the lounge.
Oh, yeah.
So that when we asked the little robot in the corner to turn the lights on, and it doesn't
Have you got Alexa?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't want to say it because I got one sat there listening to me. Yeah, when I ask her to turn the lights on and she doesn't do it, or the so-and-so lounge is not responding, and I just think to myself, is it really so hard to flick a switch? I could have had the lights on by now.
Yeah, well, it's... How long ago is it now? It's when we lived in the old house.
3 years?
It must be about... No, longer than that, because it was before I had my little boy. So it must be about 6 years ago. And other half bought me a wireless kettle. Cost, I'm northern, I drink a lot of tea. So I thought, I could be upstairs lounging about and tell on my phone, oh, put kettle on, da-da-da. And it seems like quite a good idea in theory, but you still got to fill it up.
Yeah. Isn't that just a modern day tea's made?
Well, it doesn't even make the tea. It's just a kettle. But I won't trust a tea's made anyway because I'm a bit particular about my tea.
I've never had one. I know my nan used to have one.
What, like next to a bed?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever had a cup of tea made for me by a tea's maid.
It's probably not that bad. Because it is... I don't know, actually. Does it use the tea bag? Or is it like a filtration system with leaves?
No,
I might have to look into this. Who do we know
that.
that has a tea's made? But yeah, I think he thought he were onto a bit of a winner with this Wi-Fi kettle job. But it just wasn't very practical. Because you normally, you fill it up, you put it on, and while you're waiting for it to boil, you're getting your milk or empty your dishwasher or wherever, and then it's made and off you go. So when it bust, I didn't bother. But I've got a little boiler thing now, actually. You just press a button.
What, like a nest or something? Is it a nest?
No, it's just like... no, it's just a Murphy Richards thing. It's not connected to mains. You still have to fill it up.
Oh, sorry, you mean your kettle thing? I thought you meant a boiler as in heating.
Oh, no! No, to make a cup of tea. You just press a button and it's like quite instant, one measure, one mug of tea, which is really good because, most of the day I'm on my own. But if anybody comes around... You can't make a pot. You have to do each cup individually, and that's a bit drawn out sometimes.
Does it reboil after every one, or does it keep it at a certain temperature?
It does keep it a little bit warm, but it doesn't boil the entire tank. It's a bit like a combi boiler. I think it sort of does it as is kind of thing. I don't really know how it works. I'm not sure. I don't think we had it when you came here.
I have seen it.
Oh, have you? Maybe then.
I know I haven't been around your house for forever. But no, I think you had it when we did a couple of games around there.
So it takes a little while when you're making cups of tea that, if you've got more than one person.
I don't know, we just got...
Go on.
I was going to say, we just got a £5 Tesco's value kettle.
Yeah, they all work the same. You don't, unless you're wanting something that looks nice on you, something fancy. They all do the same job. So
I'll tell you what I saw that I thought looked really smart, and I'm quite concerned now that we're not actually talking about anything nerdy other than, again, kitchen equipment.
What? That's because we're old.
It was a toaster with see-through sides.
Oh.
It just looks so cool.
A toaster with see-through sides.
But it was 130 odd quid.
Jesus Christ. It would probably look all right initially, but after you've used it, after you've used it a few times and it's all crummy and it gets a bit sort of brown on the inside, then it'll look shit. And it's probably not very easy to clean either. I shouldn't think.
You could just turn it round and have the other glass side facing you.
Yeah. Because that's how, when you get to a certain age, you stop buying things because of their, aesthetic features, and it's more about how easy is this thing to clean. And I'm like, I want to get the taps replaced because the ones that we've got, you can't take them apart, and the ends get gunked up with lime scale and stuff. Yeah. And it's like a proper faff to clean it. Whereas if you could just unscrew it and drop it in a cup full of bicarb and vinegar or whatever, bosh, da-da. We talk about Star Wars something quickly.
Let's think of something nerdy. Right. Have you seen Justice League, the Zack Snyder cut?
No. Is it on Amazon?
I have no idea because I've not seen it. But everyone I seem to know keeps banging on about it. Yeah, I mean, I've not seen the original Justice League, so...
I have, I think. I'm sure I have. Because I think we watched all of them films. We started off watching Superman. And then we went through all of them, I think.
Yeah.
I'm sure I have. It was Wonder Woman in it.
She is. Justice League, yeah, she will be.
Yeah, I'm sure I have seen it then. But no, I haven't seen this Zack Snyder thing. I'm sure that's on Amazon, which will mean that you have to pay for it. And I am tight, so I will wait until it's free. Although saying that, I've still not watched Coming to America 2 yet, and that's free on Amazon.
That's supposed to be pants, isn't it? It's supposed to be quite disappointing.
That's another reason why I ain't bothered watching it yet, because I kind of know it's going to be shit.
Yeah.
I mean, the first one was really good and really funny and a film of its time, and it was fab.
I always preferred Trading Places.
That's Dan Aykroyd, innit?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He's the
Yeah, yeah,
homeless
yeah.
man. Then they sort of make a bet. Yeah,
Did
I
you
much preferred
see?
Trading Places.
I'm presuming if you've seen them, you've seen Brewster's Millions.
Yes, yeah.
That
Vote
I
for none of the above.
Yeah. I love that film. That when we had the VHS recorder, that was one that got taped off the telly and watched over and over again.
Is it Richard?
Um,
Not Richard Pryor, is it? No.
yeah, yeah, I'm sure that's his name. Richard Pryor. I'm sure that's
Yeah, I
right.
think so.
Yeah, and he's got to spend £1 million in like 24 hours or something, and he's not allowed anything.
No, nothing to show for it at the end.
Yeah, and they try and trick him, but he does it. Oh, I need to watch that. That's a cracking film. That must be on Amazon or something. See, there's all them really good old films, and then they like troll them out again and try and remake it or reboot it. What was I watching? An interview on YouTube last night, or part of an interview anyway, with Crispin, can't remember his
Glover.
name. The guy, Back to the Future, #1. He played the dad, George McFly. Can't remember.
You know, I'm never going to join a pub quiz team with you.
Well, we'd just be like this really irritating table in the corner going, oh, I know this. I know it. I just can't remember it. Crispin Mill? No, not Crispin Mills. That's, he was in the band Cool Shaker.
Crispin Glover.
Oh, yeah, Crispin Glover, yeah. And it were an interview with him. I think it was relatively recent. Because he like tried to take him to court and everything over the second film, because they basically made out that it was him and he didn't think it was fair and blah 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 blah. But they are talking about making a fourth Back to the Future film, and I'm a bit like, it's like a bit of a holy trinity. I'm not sure they should be pissing about.
That's a bit like because there's that new Ghostbusters, isn't there? Not the female one, but there's a new one that's supposed to have been released last year.
Oh, it's not out. I've not seen it.
No, I think they delayed the release of it.
Oh, okay. I've not.
It's got that young kid from. What's it called? Stranger Things in.
But the girl.
No, the kid.
Finn
They're all kids.
Wolfhard. Finn Wolfhard.
Yeah, the black-haired one, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's supposed to be directed by Jason Reitman, who's the son of the director of the original Ghostbusters, Ivan.
Okay.
Have you not seen the trailers for it?
Stiff neck. I may have done.
It's where they go in the van and they find like Ecto-1 under the dust sheets.
No, I haven't seen that.
Looks amazing.
I did slight segue to the left. I did try and set this up so that I could show you a trailer of a film on YouTube, but I've not quite figured out how to do the sound yet, so we can watch that in silence later. There is a way to add desktop audio on my Mac, but you have to download another third-party thing. Oh, Macs are so stressful. All this sort of business is so much more straightforward on a PC. On a Mac, It's like, no, we don't want you to do that. No, we don't want you to do that. So you have to download some virtual plugin to chuff it.
It's like that with anything.
I know we're sort of like branching out into a million different conversations here, but I used to like really respect Apple and Macs, and I used to think that they were like this innovative, creator-driven kit as opposed to Microsoft that were just like,
business
bog standard. Yeah. But ever since I've sort of been more of an adult, I suppose, it just seems like any bit of creativity that you could use it for, they just want to constantly chop you off, say, no, you can't do that. No, you can't do that. And it's like only recently my telly will accept me casting from an Apple device to my telly, whereas Android phones, YouTube, anything else has worked since I've had it. It's like, why wouldn't Apple allow you to do it? It's just stupid. I don't know. I get annoyed.
It's annoying. It is annoying.
But no, the Ghostbusters. I don't think I've seen the female one. We did watch a female version of one film. Oh, I can't bloody remember what it was, and I was quite disappointed. Oh, it was the Ocean's 11, the female one. Or whatever it's called, Ocean's 25. Yeah. I don't chuffing know. We watched that, and it was quite good. Like, in the beginning, they set it up quite well. And then it was like, oh, we're going to do a fashion show because we're ladies. Oh, Jesus. Like the bit in Wonder Woman where she has this whole fashion segment. It's like, oh, God, is this so necessary?
That's what you women like, isn't it?
Oh, it's just so boring. I just want to see something a bit different. I do quite like clothes, but it's not like a calling card of every film I want to see is, let's have a try on of some clothes. Oh, tra-la-la.
So what would you have had them do? Instead of a fashion show, an art show?
What are we talking about?
Ocean's 11. I've never seen it, so I don't know. What would you replace the fashion show with?
I don't know. I mean, I'm struggling to remember the bloody premise of the film, to be honest. It was about a dress or some jewellery or something, wasn't it? I don't know. It was just a female or alleged female-orientated way of looking at things. And it's like, if you're a female gangster, you're not like, oh, well, what shall we aim to steal from today? Oh, let's find some pink bunnies and go and rob a fashion show because that's what girls do. It's like, where's the money? Where's the job? They're not going to be pissing about, are they? So, I don't know. It just annoyed me a little bit. But I really quite liked the original Ocean's 11, Ocean's.
Are we talking the original George Clooney one or the Frank Sinatra, Sammy Davis Jr.?
George Clooney. I have seen the Frank Sinatra one many, many moons ago, and I think that was it was okay. But George Clooney and Brad Pitt are very good actors. So I enjoyed watching them. And I remember thinking they were good films, so...
Yeah.
But this... I don't mind the idea of taking a film and say, hey, let's do a version with all women. I've not got a problem with that. But they never seem to quite get it right. Wait, is it Avengers Assemble? The one where they have the big battle, and then sort of towards the end-ish, it's like, all the girls get together. And I remember watching it and just thinking, oh, Jesus Christ, give me a break. Because it was like forced, It wasn't like, these are strong, powerful women that can, kick all your arses. It was a bit like there's a massive battle going on and somehow all the girls are together and here we come to save the day. It's just like really fake and forced and pushed into a corner, and that's what I don't like. Because there's some really good characters. I can't remember her name, but in Black Panther, when they're in Wakanda, there's oh Christ, I can't remember what they're called, but I think she's like a soldiery type person, and she protects. And I think she's got a skinhead.
I think I know what. I've not seen it, but I think I know the character you mean. I've seen
Yeah,
her in promotional stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you've probably seen a picture of her, and she's awesome, and she's like really strong and really powerful and female. But there's no, oh, she's gonna paint her nails now. Do you know what I mean? It's like they just have to sort of add these sillinesses in, and to me that tells me it's like maybe a man that's got the idea, or a man that's directing her, or it might be a woman, but they're trying to do it from a point of view of what a man would imagine or what a man would see, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, there's a really strong woman, but she also likes painting her nails because she's a girl. And she wouldn't be into, you know, frivolously wasting time like that because she's a fucking soldier, you know, guarding the king of Wakanda. You know, she's not going for a mani-pedi when she gets off work, is she? So, but enough ranting. It's too early to rant.
Hollywood still needs to address how it appropriates women in cinema. Is that the right word?
Yeah, I don't know.
Still needs a lot to be desired.
I think there's, well, obviously, like in the news and everything's just sort of like blowing up at the moment. And I started watching these, I think it's called Trigonometry. It's a channel on YouTube, and they have some interesting guests, shall we say. I think it's two guys that are comedians, and they keep saying, oh, we're going to get banned because they're purposefully pushing buttons and having very controversial guests on. And they had like Nigel Farage on a few episodes ago. I've not watched it because I can't stand the man, so I'm not even going to put myself through that. But there was an episode that I watched part of, and they were talking about like that woman that got murdered by the policeman. Cop, oh man.
Sarah Summit, wasn't it?
Yeah. And there's like this really, and it's not just about this subject, it seems to be happening like with everything at the minute. It's like everything's really polarised, and there's like this, you know, the whole are you left, are you right argument, but it's like the far left are going crackers and the far right are going crackers, and I think I used to sort of think that somewhere in the middle is where you'd get, you know, a decent sort of logical answer to most of the problems that we face. But on one hand, they're saying, like, oh, there should be police in nightclubs to guard women and make sure that women are safe, and there should be more women on. There should be more police on the streets, you know, more street lighting and blah blah blah. But she was attacked by a policeman for a start. Well, okay, he's not been found guilty yet, but you know, I think it's a slight foregone conclusion, possibly. And do you want the state to intervene in your life or not? And it just feels like there's this weird, you know, I'm female and I want to feel safe walking down the street, but does that have to be because I know there's a policeman over there making sure I'm okay and I'm being protected because I'm a woman? And it's like that. It's really tiring, and I get fed up of talking about it.
As a man and a male point of view, there are times when I've walked late at night in places and I've not felt safe as a man.
Yeah.
And it's just like, well,
yeah,
that's going to happen.
Yeah. And like statistically, men are more likely to get attacked in the street than women anyway. Women are more likely to get attacked by somebody that they know. So it's like statistically it's all wrong, and yet probably since the age of like 12, I've been told from, I don't know, various sources that I need to protect myself to make sure that nobody's going to attack me. And it's like all the onus is on me. I've got to not go out in the dark. I've got to not wear anything provocative. I've not got to talk to people. I've got to not go to dodgy places. I've not got to walk the streets at 3 o'clock in the morning.
So you're just trying to be a ninja?
Yeah. And it's like, even like with going running, which I really got into last year, and I really, really loved it. It was a bit of a love-hate relationship. When I'm actually running, I'm thinking, I fucking hate this, fucking hate this, fucking hate this. But as soon as I finished, I'm like, yeah, that was amazing. It feels so good. But I won't run in the dark because I'm like, well, frightened, for want of a better word. And it's like, is that in my head? Am I like not making it up?
They need to educate males more. Because I suppose in a way I didn't, it sounds horrible, but I haven't given it much thought. And it's like, if I have been walking home late at night and there is a woman in front of me, I haven't then sort of thought to myself, oh, I wonder if she's thinking I'm going to do anything, or do you know what I mean? But then do I drop back? Because then that'd look more suspicious. Oh, I'll just go and lean against this lamppost, just menacingly. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like, I can't speed up to get in front of her, because then it might sound like I'm walking quicker to catch her up.
Yeah.
And
it's
then
difficult.
It's just like, well, I'm just going to have to carry on now and cross the road as soon as possible, sort of thing.
Yeah, it is difficult, and it, I think the whole not all men thing is a bit volatile, because it very clearly isn't all men. But I read what do you call it? Not an allegory, I don't know. Analogy, one of them. And it's like, if there's a swarm of bees coming towards you, you don't stand there and say, hey, it's not all bees, and wait to get stung. You're like, fuck, and run away. And it's like the same sort of thing. And like you said, if you were a woman walking down a dark street and you heard footsteps behind you, I would definitely automatically be on my guard. I wouldn't look, but I'd be listening to the footsteps, and I would be worried. Without a shadow of a doubt, that's just like what I've been told all my life, be afraid. And maybe that's part of the problem as well. So, but, so we were talking about it like ages ago. Because similar thing, like with you, he doesn't necessarily see the problem because he's never been in that position. And I said, like, what's the first thing you think about when you might go for a run? It's like, oh, my trainers. So, the first thing I think about is making sure I've got my rape alarm. And that's quite sad. But it's like, phone, rape alarm. And I'll check my rape alarm to make sure it's somewhere I can grab it easily. And these are like, I'm a bit of an anxious person anyway, so maybe I take it too far, I don't know. But I always make sure it's there and I can grab it easily. And when I'm running down the road, I'm like looking at the bushes thinking, is that a bush that I could get pulled into? And that's quite awful. But these are my real thoughts as I'm,
To be honest, it's not something I ever thought about. I wouldn't have.
Yeah.
As a man, it's literally set my Strava going and out I go.
Yeah. So I think that that could be addressed. Just like having an open conversation and saying, hey guys, this is what we do and this is how we actually feel, and people like you and my other half would be like, oh, I didn't know you felt that. Oh, sorry. Oh. And that's fine. And that's it, job done. Because it doesn't matter how much you educate people that are psychopaths, they're still going to, go out attacking people anyway. So you're not really talking to them. I think it's just that women want to sort of be heard and understood and not constantly, oh, shut up, what you're talking about, kind of thing. Which is another sort of a dialogue that seems to be happening at the moment. It's like, oh, it's not like that. Not all men, blah, 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 shut up. So, I don't know how we got into this. Let's talk about Star Wars. Oh.
So we've covered kettles, see-through toasters, rape alarms.
I'm getting a bit hot.
Running.
In the sweat box. But I think I am trying to talk myself out of constantly being afraid. Because I want to start going running again, because I did really enjoy it. So I may go down the main roads as opposed through the industrial estate when it's dark.
Yeah.
But,
It's getting lighter as well.
Oh, yeah. When do clocks go? Is it back or forward?
Forwards, I think, and it's a week or two.
Yeah.
28th.
Yeah, so it is going to get lighter anyway, but I don't want to sort of get to October like I did last time and be like, all right, I've got to stop running now because it's dark and I'm a woman and I can't run in the dark. So we'll see. I shall do something about it, I think.
And getting back on topic, I think Justice League might be on HBO.
Oh, okay. So we can't even watch it unless you've got a VPN.
No.
VPN? Is that the right word? Yeah, virtual private network.
Yeah, so but then you still need a HBO
illegalities.
Subscription.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but it's still a bit dodgy, isn't it? Because you're not supposed to watch it in England.
I don't know.
Nobody likes us at the moment anyway.
No.
Not that anybody liked us to begin with.
That's throughout history.
I'm not trying to, make this all about the current political shenanigans, but what are Europe doing at the moment? What's all this vaccine blocking? Oh, this vaccine doesn't work. We're not going to use it. Yeah. It's like, fuck's sake. It seems a bit petty. I don't know.
It seems very political.
But
it seems to have backfired on them.
I don't know. I mean, even if they were being, petty, political petty, whatever, however you want to see it, it's like, for better or for worse, half the British public voted for Brexit. So it's like penalising their own country just seems a bit... I don't know. I'm sure there's an awful lot more to it that my poor little female brain doesn't understand.
just go back to your nails.
Oh, fluffy.
Let us men worry about it.
I know. Oh my God, Harry Enfield. Women, know your limits. I loved that. That was so funny. What did they say now? It's back to that English accent, the Queen's English. While the men are talking about manly things and ruling the world, little Catherine is sat at the table thinking about kittens merrily running around her head. And then she tries to say something important and all the men are like, the woman spoke. Oh, I love
you say that,
sketch.
but I think one of the best world leaders is, what's her name, from New Zealand?
Oh God, yeah, she's a cracker. She is. Arden.
Yeah, something like that, isn't it? They need to clone her, and then we can have a copy.
Oh, Oh, she is the. I haven't even got words for how fantastic I think she is. I mean, I know England is in a slightly different position with regard to just pulling up the drawbridge, so to speak. But she bloody nailed that, didn't she? It's like, right, that's it, bosh, airplane's done, everything's shut down, you know. And she's had kids, and she's breastfeeding them at work, and nah, Jacinta.
Jacinda. I don't.
Jacinda.
I'm trying to not Google stuff. I'm trying to use my brain.
No, she's a cracker. She is. Now, if we could have a few more of her, then I think we'd all be a lot better off. But no, clearly I haven't seen that film. But I did watch season 1, episode 1, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
That's a Disney Plus thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was good. It's much more straight out the box Marvel action superhero film, whereas WandaVision was like, you know, a bit off the wall. Did you finish watching WandaVision?
No, I'm terrible for starting things and never finishing them.
Because WandaVision was really good.
Yeah. No, the ones I did watch were good, but it's just a bit of a TV butterfly. I seem to flit around and not watch anything.
Yeah. No, what WandaVision was much more of a
to me, WandaVision seemed like a kind of, in comic terms, a bit like a standalone graphic novel. So you'd have your comics going along on a regular basis, and then this would come in as a bump, sort of a one-off story.
Yeah.
I mean, I've not seen it all, so I could be completely wrong, but
no. I would say it is, and it was basically just about her dealing with her emotional baggage, really, which sounds like quite crap, but it wasn't. It was really good. I say, whereas Falcon and the Winter Soldier is definitely much more, even though I've only seen one episode because that's all that's available at the moment, you can just tell it's going to be a lot more sort of like, in a good way, you know, bog standard Marvel. I keep going out on cold. I've got a fever.
It's got men in it, so it must be action.
It's got men in it. I saw.
None of that Black Widow.
I know. I keep watching random interviews and stuff on YouTube lately, and I can't. Oh, it might have been a TikTok actually, and there were a bloke talking about all the Marvel films, and he was saying, you know, basically, all the main characters, white men. Oh no, we included Captain Marvel as well. Yeah, they've all got like black best mates. I'm going to have to try and reel them off now, and I can't remember them. Apart from Wakanda, but then that's an entire film on its own, isn't it? I can't retell it because I can't remember the characters. But basically, it was like listing off all the main characters, and they're like all had like their best mate was black. It was quite funny. But no, it's good. I've got an itch. You know what? Yeah. These headphones look quite cool, but I don't think I like them. They were only 20 quid, so I can't complain. I'm sure there's more expensive models, but they're a bit squidgy on my ears. I think that they're trying to get the noise cancellation business, but I don't think I like it. I feel like I'm in a vacuum. See, I can breathe now. But on the, what's it called? Disney Star, I've watched a couple of episodes, and I know you won't have watched it, or I'd be ridiculously surprised if you have. It's called Dollface, and it's a bit like chick flick, but it's like really surreal, and without sounding why can you never remember words? I don't know, whatever.
Because this is like being up, even though no one's really watching, it's like being up on stage.
Yeah. I can't remember anything.
It's a bit like doing when you listen to the radio and a quiz comes on and you're like bang 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 answer. And then if you rang up, you'd be like
what's your name?
Yeah.
But yeah, whatever the word is, not pretentious, but something like that. It's got a really nice colour palette. You know how here we go again, I can't remember his name. I want to say Wes Craven, but that's probably not right.
Anderson.
Wes Anderson. Who's Wes Craven?
He wasn't something to do with Freddy Krueger, wasn't he? Director of horror films.
Yeah. I'm going to get a t-shirt that says, "It's not my fault, I'm over 40." And that's just like my standalone excuse for everything. and
there's the baby brain.
Oh, well.
Apparently, if you've had a baby, your brain goes a bit weird.
You know what, right?
I'll probably just upset every woman on the planet by saying that.
Well, I can make two arguments in like your favour for this, right? You're as a gender, you're in your favour, right? These things that women get upset about, like saying, "Oh, she's got baby brain," right? Most definitely for the first year of my son's life, my brain was smush, absolute smush. Somebody stuck a blender in there and give it a right good old, anything. I remember when he was 1 year old, I used to think getting 5 to 6 hours solid sleep a night was really good. I was winning, right? 5 hours sleep in one go without waking up, I was on to a winner. I thought, I got 5 hours sleep last night. Yeah, I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. And even now, constant toddler, this, it never lets up. So my brain is smush. I have trouble remembering anything. So baby brain, I am all for that. The second point, which I can't remember.
Point proven.
Yeah. What was my second point?
I don't know. You never told me.
This was like championing some of the things that men say that women get on their high horse about that is actually true. Baby brain and something else. Oh, I don't know. I'll come back to it if I remember. Oh, God help me.
What were you on about?
Dollface. Yeah, so it, like Wes Anderson, he has this really interesting colour palette in his films. This series has got like this really nice pastel business going off, and it's like really pleasant to look at. I say it has got this sort of chick flicky thing to it. It's like, I don't know, a group of female friends that are in their, I don't know, late 20s, early 30s or something. And the main character, yeah, but they work, so maybe they're like early 30s. And the main character's just been dumped by her like long-term boyfriend, and she's now trying to figure out life without, she's basically been with him for her entire life. But it cuts to like these really surreal scenes, and she was trying to decide whether to go out or stay at home, and it like cut to this quiz show, and like the host has got this cat head, and she's got these doors that she can pick, what's behind door number 1, and I don't know, it's just like really enjoyable to watch. It's like quite surreal. Let's say very pretty to look at. So I sort of watched the first episode and I was like, what the bloody hell is this? I don't know what drew me to watch it in the first place, to be honest.
And that's a TV show?
Yeah, it's on Disney Star or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Disney Plus, one of the extra bits that they've added, and it's called Dollface. I say if you can get past the sort of girly chick flick element of it, it is actually quite a funny, interesting program. Oh, excuse me. And did you ever watch Trolleyed?
Was that the supermarket?
Yeah.
Comedy thing.
Yeah. It were on Sky originally, and then I think
I watched some of the first season years ago.
Yeah, it's quite old. I loved it because I worked in Morrison's for a while, and various retail elements, and working in retail is a very special experience, dealing with the general public in those sort of settings, you know. You just know. And when I watched Trolleyed, it was like hilarious. I loved it. But on Netflix, they've got a program called Superstore. I'm sure it's called Superstore. And it's not legally got anything to do with Trolleyed, but it's basically the same program but American. And they've got some very similar characters. And it's got I'll probably say this wrong. America Ferrera. She was in Ugly Betty. You probably never watched Ugly Betty.
I heard of the program. I don't know who she is, but was she's Betty?
Yeah, she's the main character in Ugly Betty, and she's in this. You know, there's not much to say about it, but it is just really funny, and it's just normal people working in a supermarket, you know, engaging with members of the public who are incredibly horrendous at times that you could not even imagine, and funny and silly, and it's quite a shit job, but you know, during lockdown last year, all, you know, supermarket workers are key workers and we're going to clap for them and all that jazz. And now things are sort of, you know, getting more normal again, and it's like, oh, you know, supermarket shelf stacker, scum of the earth, you know, people don't give a shit anymore.
Yeah, but I don't know if you've ever been to a Walmart in America. They're weird places.
I went in Walgreens.
Yeah.
I was trying to get a cup of tea, and bloke looked at me like I were asking for fucking snow from a desk. I don't know. Said I want a cup of tea. But
we went to Walmart.
Big uns.
Yeah. We went to Walmart, and when we got to the bottom, when we're checking out, and she's beeping everything through, and then they start packing the bags for you on this little carousel.
Okay.
And she beeps it, puts it in a bag for you, and spins the carousel around, and you just take the bag off. I said to her, you ain't charging me 5p a bag, are you, for this? She was like, what? I was like, you ain't charging me for each of these bags, are you? She looked at me like I'd just landed from Mars. I was like, no, back home in the UK, we have to pay 5-10p a carrier bag.
Yeah.
And she was just like, you're joking. But she'd put like one item in a bag and then send it round.
That is a bit wasteful.
I was like, there's so many plastic bags, what are we going to do with them all?
Yeah.
So we took them in the next time to reuse them, and they were just like, what are you fucking doing?
What is this recycling, you spick off?
Yeah.
I thought they used brown bags anyway.
I think that's only for films.
Oh, okay.
But yeah,
how peculiar.
It is just really weird. You got, I can remember, it wasn't Walmart. I can't remember if it was a Target or Publix because we were in Florida.
Oh, they talk about Target a lot. What's so special about Target?
It's nothing really. It's just a supermarket that seems to have more shit at the beginning. More distractions. You've got more clothes, more books, more TVs.
Yeah.
But you get everything there.
Oh, okay.
I mean, the Walmart we went to had got you could go and have your car serviced and your tyres changed. And then you got the supermarket bit, and then on the end you'd got like the outdoor hunting, so you'd got the guns and the tents and the fishing, and it's just really, but you'd got like 5 aisles of breakfast cereal.
I didn't know there was 5 aisles worth of variety.
No, well, over there is everything, but you're just like, oh, I don't know what I want now.
Yeah, bewildered
like, oh, I
by
want this.
choice.
And then you walk 2 aisles and you go, oh no, I want this now. Oh no, but put them back. So you walk back and it's just, you're like, fucking hell, we only get half an aisle at home.
Well, there was, when I used to live near Watford, cos Argos, Asda got took over by Walmart, didn't they? They're not owned by Walmart anymore.
No, they got brought out by some English blokes, didn't they?
Yeah. But the Asda in Watford is enormous. And that's got like some little extra shops on the inside. There's like an optician's and a shoe shop, travel agent's phone shop. I think there was something else. Massive clothes section. And then like the normal Asda as well. And I think that's probably the biggest supermarket I've ever been to. I know there's some big Tesco's, but
I think there's one in Coventry that used to be the biggest by the Rico Arena.
Oh, I don't know where that is. I've only been to Coventry a couple of times, and I will never drive there ever again until they sort out their road system. Oh
it's
my
a weird place.
God.
But yeah, that Tesco's there is absolutely massive. It's ridiculously
they sell
big.
big tellies and stuff, don't they? But
yeah, it's ridiculous.
I don't mind it so much because going to one place and doing all your shopping is easier. Excuse me. You know, we don't shop like we used to anyway. And
well, as a kid, I can remember going with my mum, and my mum would go to like Fine Fair, and then that'd be everything was in a barrel. Okay. So she used to buy broken Weetabix, and it was just like Weetabix crumbs, and she'd buy it by weight. And you'd have a bag and you'd fill it up, and then we'd go to the freezer centre. And then she'd go and buy her frozen stuff. Then we'd have to go to the butcher's to get the meat, the fresh meat. Then the greengrocers to get the vegetables and fruit. And it was like a whole day of flipping shopping.
But then, you know, women had the time because they tended not to work. So spending an entire day going shopping, cooking all day, etc., was more of the dumb thing, wasn't it?
What?
So
You've forgotten the cleaning. You're no good as a housewife. You forgot the cleaning.
Fuck off. I bloody hate housework, me. Oh my God. Whoever invented dust, we need to have a conversation.
It does get everywhere.
Oh, and I've got one of them RoboVac jobs, and I felt a bit what's the word? When you spend too much money on something that you shouldn't really, an extravagance. I was like, oh, you know, I'm buying one of these robotic hoovers, and it was like £250. I was like, oh my God, you know. But
does it work?
Oh yes, absolutely. It's literally the best thing in this house that I own.
That's
close second with a dishwasher, because I hate washing.
That's not far off the price of a Dyson, I suppose.
No, I mean we've got one of them Henry Hoovers as well, because they're like the pet hairs, because there's a lot of pet hairs. But the RoboVac picks them up. It is really, really good. I would say it's worth every penny. I think it's more of a psychological thing, getting one of these RoboVac things.
Can I just point out, again, we've got back to home appliances.
Yeah, I think we need to like rename this as like the over 40s cafe or something.
Sorry, your RoboVac. I've looked at them and I just think
they're really good. Trust me.
I've got a lot of nook. I mean, my house is an old Victorian house, so it's not square. So I've got like lots of little nooks and crannies that, you know, the sofa goes there, but there might be a little 3-foot gap that is dead space.
If it can get round it, if it's blocked, then obviously it can't get to it.
Do you have to program it?
No. I mean, there's lots of different ones you can buy. I mean, mine's like 2 years old now, so there's like better ones out. And if you spent £250 now, you could probably get a better model than what mine is. But literally...
Do you have one for upstairs and one for downstairs?
We don't, but you could. And I've got it hooked up to the Alexa, so yeah, Alexa, tell RoboVac to start cleaning. And off it goes. Because my house is not really open plan, but if you open the doors, then it basically is.
Yeah.
So off it sets, and it's got like a bumper on it, so when it bangs into the wall, it's like, oh fuck, there's a wall there, turn a bit, carry on, oh fuck, there's a wall there, carry on, oh fuck, there's a wall there, carry on, and then it's, you know, on the right path. And it's got like some sort of light sensor, so if I've got it upstairs and it gets too close to the stairs, then it won't, you know, kamikaze itself down the stairs. But it's literally a fantastic piece of kit, and I love it. I probably put it on twice a day, but that's because it dog hairs. And you know, Holly's hairs are like this long, you know, and it picks them up, and the amount of dirt and dust and stuff it picks up is...
So you're getting the lawnmower version?
No. And I won't be getting the mop version either, because anything, as soon as you start mixing things, it's like a washer dryer. No. Don't get a washer dryer. You have separates, because they just go wrong. They don't work. So don't get the RoboVac combi mop. The mop on its own might work, I don't know, but they are really good.
What do you do with your time that you've saved from having a robotic vacuum?
Sit on my
Do you
arse,
feel like you
crisp,
have more time?
Not really, no.
Because I sometimes sit here and just think, I haven't got loads of gadgets. And I just think, I've got too many. Am I just being lazy by not?
No, because, I mean, I was actually thinking about it this morning, because I'm thinking about setting up another channel on YouTube talking about food and weight loss and stuff. And I was like, you know, doing some practice scripts in my head. And I was thinking about how busy I am, right? I don't work anymore. The part-time job that I had, I lost during COVID. So, you know, for much want of a better phrase, I am a stay-at-home mum. Which makes my skin crawl, because there's just so much more to it. But you know, we get up in the morning, and I'm lucky if I get to sit down at about 1 o'clock, and that's because he wants me to play a game with him or something. So all that time, I'm on my feet. I'm organising food for everybody for the whole day. I'm trying to do a bit of housework. There seems to be laundry to do every single day, which I don't know where it comes from. Every time I look at the washing basket, it's full. It's like magic. I emptied you yesterday. Where did this come from? And obviously before we got the RoboVac, I had to do the hoovering as well. And because I get a bit stressed out, you know, I would rage hoover.
You haven't picked all these Lego bricks up.
No, I'd just be like pissed off, just like hoovering and skirting. I fucking hate hoovering. and I wouldn't do it as often as I would want to, because it would piss me off. And the whole process of getting it out, hoovering, moving furniture, putting everything back, it's just like another long job to do. Whereas I just told Robovac to crack on. And obviously it doesn't move the furniture for you. And it does go to the edges, but it's not as good as using a normal Hoover. So, you know, maybe once a month I'll get the main Hoover out and have a whiz round. But I think it's just like psychological as well. It's like one less job to do, so I can just sort of relax a bit and, you know, watch something or try and read a book. Or it's like, why burden yourself with housework if you can have more time to do fun stuff?
I suppose as well, though, because most of the time none of us are in the house here. So like, I go to work, the wife goes to work, and the daughter goes to school, so the house is empty for like 8 hours of the day, whereas yours is got you two in it.
Yeah, and the dog. So there's 3 of us in the house. You know, for the past year we've been in the house all day, every day. You know, making mess. So my house is probably like dirtier than yours anyway, just because we're in it more.
Well, I beg to differ. I've been around your house and I do think your house is well tidy.
You would not be looking at my walls at the moment because they are pure filth. Because it's like been raining a lot, and obviously the dog gets a bit sludgy. She comes in from a walk right next to the front door, shaky, shaky, shaky. There's wonderful sort of splats of mud up my lovely white walls. And it's like there's no point in cleaning it because she's just going to do it again. So
yeah.
In fact, most of my walls are really messy because he's put chuffing crayon on them. And I can't be bothered with that. As long as the floor's clean. I hate crumbs, I hate dust.
So there was some in them long plastic runners your nan used to have.
Oh, well, yeah. Oh, what I saw some other day where somebody had a full plastic cover on a sofa. I thought, how did people live like that? Where's the comfort? You know, it's like my parents always insisted in having a proper solid wooden table, right? Really nice quality, expensive.
Dining
and then
table.
Put about yeah.
Yeah.
And then put about 3 tablecloths on top of it to protect it. It's like, what's the fucking point in buying a nice table and smothering it so nobody gets to see it?
Yeah, but that's the same with an iPhone. You get your lovely iPhone, it's all slim and lovely in your hand, and then you put a case on it and make it big and bulky. And then when you take the case off, you're like, oh, this is nice, it's all... But it feels so slim and nice that you think, that's going to slip out my hand.
You can still see it though. I mean, my phone, it's not... Where's my camera? You know, it's not dramatically different. It's not like, oh, I've bought this nice wooden table and now there's some awfully patterned tablecloth strewn across.
But, I mean, me and my wife got our dining room table as a wedding present. And... I mean, it's now.
Have I just like totally slagged you off now? That
No. I mean, we haven't bothered with the tablecloth.
Oh.
And I've drilled holes into it. Well, I've been doing stuff, and the drill's slipped, and it's got. Where the daughter's done her own work, you got all the pen.
Oh
stuff.
God.
And it's trash to buggery, but it's.
As long as it works. I mean,
nobody really uses it. They all sit in the lounge and eat off their laps.
Yeah. I mean, my mate's got it's like a big kitchen diner affair. She's got the table from her granddad's garage. Oh, I've gone all out of focus. I'm still fuzzy. This could be a good look. Oh no, there we go. Oh no, fuzzy.
It's a soft focus.
Yeah. Oh. No. Why does it do that?
No, I don't know.
Stop being silly, camera. I'm not doing this all day, so sort yourself out. Yeah, she's like got the table from her granddad's garage, and it's like this proper old rustic. I think it was a dining table at some stage, but it's like been battered to hell. And they've literally just like sanded it and put a bit of wax on it or something, and it's still got loads, paint splats and stuff all over the shop, but it looks really cool. So it's like this shabby chic kind of vibe going off. But
it's also good recycling.
Yeah. But yeah, get your son a RoboVac. You could have it on in the day when you're at work, and you would come home and the hoovering would be done.
I don't mind. I quite like hoovering.
Do you? Do you want to come and
hoover? I don't mind it.
What about going upstairs and you've got to carry the bloody thing up the stairs, and you've got to hoover stupid little rooms where you have to move loads of crap? It's so long.
Don't bother me. It's my Saturday morning job.
But you could be playing Vermintide or whatever.
I could be doing anything, but I need.
Or is it like?
I just enjoy the housework.
Is it your form of meditation?
No, I just like doing the housework and then sitting down when it's all tidy and going, yeah, that's nice.
Oh.
What normally happens is I tidy downstairs, come upstairs. The other two have gone downstairs and wrecked it again by the time I finished upstairs.
Fucking wankers. Leave it alone.
But, yeah.
Oh, let's talk about something other than housework. This is like...
So, yeah, talking of Vermintide, I brought a new game today for the PS4. I brought Assassin's Creed, the pirate one, Black Flag.
Are you going to start streaming it?
I might try it.
Awesome.
I couldn't get on with the first Assassin's Creed.
I've not really got on with any of them, to be honest. I don't know what it is about Assassin's Creed.
Every time I tried to run, I'd end up hiding in a hay cart. I'd be like, what the fuck are you doing in there? And I'd jump out and they'd be like, oh, there's a guard there. Oh, bollocks.
I remember doing the whistling thing, and I always try and knock people off silently. I've got a bit of an MO in games. I'm either like the sneaky, silent, slit your throat, or I'm an archer hiding.
A sniper.
Yeah, that's me all over. So watch
I used
your
to
back.
like that in Star Wars Battlefront. I used to get the best sniping rifle, and I could just stand there and snipe from miles away. But then they nerfed the sniping rifles, so I couldn't do it. It's just like, I just took the fun out of the game now.
So have you?
Looking forward.
Are you waiting for it to arrive, or?
No, that was from Amazon, so that came today.
Oh, okay. When can we expect to see you streaming it?
Well, because it's through my PS4, I've had to get a camera. So that supposedly doesn't arrive till Thursday.
Oh, okay.
So, don't know. I might do a few test runs at the weekend.
Yeah.
I've been looking at green screens, because when you do it through the PlayStation, it just looks a bit better if you're not taking up a big block of the screen.
Yeah. Some programs do auto green screens, don't they? I don't know if that works with the PlayStation. Probably not.
Yeah, I think it's quite limited. I mean,
go on.
I didn't, because my computer won't run that OBS and all that well. So I thought I'll do it through the PlayStation.
Yeah.
But some of them green screens are well expensive.
There's a cheaper one on Amazon, and I think you get like a tripod or something with it.
What I was looking at doing was where I am was putting a extending shower curtain pole.
Oh yeah, yeah.
'Cause I can literally put it from like that wall to the other wall, and then just getting
Okay.
some green screen fabric and hanging it over.
That's quite a good idea. That'll probably be a lot cheaper as well.
Because I think the fabric was about 17 quid, and then the pole
Yeah.
was like 12 quid or something.
Yeah.
I thought, well, I don't want to go crazy on it because for when we do this, I wouldn't use it. But,
Yeah. Oh, that's quite a good idea.
but that's the
Ah.
plan as long as the cloth isn't too heavy.
Yeah, it's probably quite a light fabric. I mean, it's not going to be like heavy felt or anything, is it?
No,
So,
we shall see.
yeah.
I'll have a few test runs at the weekend.
Because, like, I was looking at the cameras for streaming, and like, I would love somebody to explain to me why a camera for a PS4 is £140 and a camera for a PS5 is £50.
Yeah, I
That
haven't
makes
worked that
no
out.
sense at all to
Not got
me.
a clue. The only thing I could think of was whether because the kids were being homeschooled, and a lot of kids, a family have only got like one computer and one laptop, and if you've got 3 kids, you've got a kid that hasn't then got access to the web. So I know a few in the daughter's class were using their PlayStations and such as
Maybe.
online. And I don't know whether that's driven the price up of the webcams for them.
It's a bit ridiculous, though.
But yeah, the PlayStation 5 camera is 50 odd quid,
Yeah.
and
So,
that's full 1080.
is it?
Yeah, whereas the PlayStation
Okay.
4 is only 720.
How can they justify £140?
I don't know. And I think you also need it as part of the VR kit.
Yeah. Because I'll have to get the camera, obviously, for my PS5. But my PlayStation is downstairs in the living room, so I'm not sure. I don't know. I'll have to do some testing. Because I'll be sat in my armchair. I don't know how long the cable is on the camera, or what sort of if you can zoom in or something. I don't know. I'll have to try and figure that out. But I'm sure there will be a way. Because I'd quite like to stream playing Sackboy, because that's quite funny. It's a funny little platforming game.
That's what I've been mostly watching this week is people streaming,
Yeah,
and it's like, oh,
it's weird, isn't it? I don't know. Watching people playing games seems like a peculiar hobby, but
I remember it coming on when they sort of released it, and I was like, why the hell would anyone want to watch that? And then I suppose you've got the if the people are interesting and you enjoy listening to them.
yeah. I mean,
And then you've got,
that is it, isn't it? It's the
and then I
people
did
that you
find
watch.
myself watching it when it was like, oh, I used to play this game. I wonder how they got past this bad guy that I could never get past.
Yeah.
So then it'd be like, that's how you do it.
Well, I was watching some guy playing an old Resident Evil, and he said like, oh, we don't normally play these types of games, and he'd never played this before, and he's like bobbing about, missing loads of stuff, and I'm like, there's a jewel dagger down there, you've missed it, go back. And he's like, what do I need that for? I'm like, you need it for the puzzle, because I remember playing it like 20 years ago or something. But yeah, the whole Twitch thing, and it's a bit of an odd one. I mean, I've been watching videos on YouTube. I think it's called Alpha Gaming. I think the guy's called Harris. And he's got quite a few businesses going. He streams and he does YouTube videos, and he's got something called Stream Beats, which allows you to play music that's royalty free, so you can't get copyright strikes and stuff. He's quite an interesting guy. And he's sort of like moaning quite a bit about Twitch, because it is kind of a shit platform to go to look for people to watch, and a lot of the time I'll go to it just to browse, and nothing's really jumping out at me, so I end up switching it off and doing something else. And if they had more of a browsing feature where you could type in some keywords for things that you're interested in, or better categories, then I might have found something that appealed to me and I would have watched it. And he moans about that a lot as well. And it's like the community on Twitch is really good. And for streaming, it is better on Twitch, but they're not quite doing it right, and they kind of need to sort it out before YouTube catches up, because I don't know the exact figures, but like YouTube has got like way more watchers, whatever you want to call them, than Twitch has. Even though Twitch is like the powerhouse in streaming, you know, a hell of a lot more people go to YouTube.
Does the YouTube have as much ways of interacting? Like, does it have the bits, or
no?
I know you'd have. I assume you'd obviously have the chat, but then would you have all the other?
You have to. I think it's called you become a member instead of subscribing, and it's not as good community interactive. You know, Twitch seems to have that quite good. The streamer hardly earns any money from it, so it's not necessarily good for you as a streamer, but for community involvement that works quite well. YouTube hasn't got that figured out yet, but just YouTube on their own is a much bigger power, because you go on to watch videos, which I think Twitch were trying to work on something called clips or whatever. But again, they've not kind of got it quite right, and you can't search anything properly. Whereas you go to YouTube and I can just type in like anything, like over 40 makeup tips, you know, and bosh, I've got like a million bloody videos, lots of different people. If any of them are live, then it'll tell me straight away. You try to do that in Twitch and it's not going to happen.
They also need to sort out their recommendations.
Yeah.
Because I logged on tonight and it says, recommended videos you might like. And it was the just chatting section. And
do tell.
It was like a skimpily clad lady in a hot tub, just chatting. I'm thinking, what the fuck? Who's going to log in and listen to our talk about hoovers and kettles when you got that to compete with?
Well, this is the thing.
That needs sorting out. It's not fair. I don't have a hot tub to sit in.
I really want a hot tub, but until we've got rid of the trampoline, I've not really got anywhere for one.
Plus, I'd look like Jabba the Hutt on his throne in the hot tub.
Oh, no, it'd be quite good. But yeah, there's lots of people on YouTube talk about that. It's like, is it easier for pretty girls to earn money on Twitch? You know, because they just sit there, you know, with bits hanging out and what have you. And I don't want to take anything away from these girls, because quite frankly, if it works and men are willing to pay, then crack on. You know, I've got no problem with that at all. I think the biggest thing about feminism, or real feminism, is having the choice, and it's your body, and if you want to flash it and people want to pay to see it, then that's fine. You set the rules, you know. I wouldn't be doing that. FYI. But when you see these videos, it's like exercise and chat, 1 squat for 10 subs. And I didn't really get it when I first saw it. And then I was like, oh, so she gets 10 subs, then she's going to do a squat. And I was thinking, oh, maybe it's where she's got her arse or something near to the camera, Maybe her leggings are squat proof. Maybe they're not. Who knows?
What's the cheapest sub? It's about £5, isn't it?
Something like that, yeah. So, see, it's money, and it's like, if you're stupid enough to pay for a girl to squat on the screen, right? If you want to pay for that and she's going to make money, she's laughing all the way to the bank, I do not have a problem with that. I remember years and years and years ago seeing an interview with Paris Hilton, and this was like, from the 90s or whatever, and Paris Hilton was all, silly little girl, what have you. And I saw her do this interview and her voice completely changed. It was like fucking 3 octaves, is that the right word? Deeper. And she was talking really seriously. And she's like, this is how I run my business. I earn this much money from this. I earn this much money from this. I'm opening this business and I do this and this and this. And I thought, fuck me, girl, you know what you're doing. So, no. Crack on. So did you click on any?
No, I didn't. It's just, I don't know. It's just everything you seem to get on the internet then seems to get taken over by sex.
It's just easy though, isn't it? I don't know. I mean, people are quite obviously, interested in it. And it's sort of a private window to whatever you want. So I know obviously there's some like loonies out there, but I would, kind of going back to our, previous conversation about the whole women being attacked and everything. I think what you do in your own home in front of your computer is like, your own business as long as that's where it stays. But conversely, I think a lot of young men probably get most of their sex education, shall we call it, from watching porn, and that's really bad because then they have this really warped view of what sex is, and it's like that isn't what sex is at all. This is like strange entertainment that is being put in front of you,
Well, you can only have sex in a big open plan mansion, can't you? With like easy couches everywhere. So I always thought.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
That's all right then.
It's like when you first go on TikTok, and you just get blasted with all these videos, of scantily clad ladies and what have you. But as the algorithm works its magic and you start watching things properly, but it does always revert back to, especially if you're male, when my other half went on TikTok a few times, he started off with all the sexy girls and then wheeled it down to, stuff mainly on football, but they keep throwing him in, because they know he's a male. Yeah. It's like, oh, we'll just give him another chance in case he wants it. But they make money out of it at the end of the day, which is literally what everything boils down to, is money. So,
I mean, I don't have TikTok, I have Instagram, but I just seem to not so much to like recommend it, but just on these when you bring up the search screen, I seem to get these really weird videos of people dancing, women dancing.
Yeah.
In
well, the funny cat things. I don't even know what they. or whatever it is. I don't know. I don't get on with them things. But I'm presuming you've probably put in your profile that you're male, so they just like keep flinging this shit out on you, and they're waiting for it to stick.
No, I haven't put it on mail.
Maybe not. Maybe they're just trying their luck. But sometimes it's like, even when those like dodgy videos come up, it's like you're sort of like, oh, it's like some weird sort of temptation or being intrigued. You want to kind of see what happens. It's like, I don't know. Although I don't think I'll be.
What the hell are they doing? Hang on, I need to click it to see what they're doing now.
Yeah, and then they've got you anyway, haven't they? So.
Oh, that's it. Once you've watched one, we'll recommend about 20 of them.
Yeah. Once they think they've pulled you in, it's like with them scams and stuff. If you respond to one, you get put on a list. Where the mug list, you know, he answered one phone call, whatever, then it's like, oh, he's a mug, keep ringing him. I had one other week. You have been reported for tax evasion. There is a warrant out for your arrest. And I'm listening to it thinking, oh, okay. If you do not respond, the police will be coming to arrest you. And I do wonder how people fall for it, but they clearly do, or they wouldn't do it, would they?
Yeah.
So,
what's the latest one I think we had was a Royal Mail parcel from abroad. Click on this link to get the parcel released, and it was just like, I've not ordered anything, and the Royal Mail don't send texts.
Any text, any email that tells me to click on the link, I just don't do it. I mean, even I was doing something with my mortgage, and they rang me, and I knew I was in the process of doing something, so I was kind of expecting the call. But he's like, okay, can we go through some security questions? And I just said no. Said, you rung me, I'm not going to tell you anything. And he gave me a telephone number, which I don't trust telephone numbers that they give me either. I will then independently find out a telephone number off my own back and then ring it. And it was all totally legit, but it's like, you know, I think I've been done over once quite badly, and once randomly, wasn't my fault. Somebody cloned my card. I think it was when I lived in London. I went to a garage and I bought something, and they swiped my card through a dodgy machine under the counter or whatever. So, you know, but no, I can't even remember if I told you about it or not. But when I was pregnant, which I blame the baby brain for going so far down the hole. A friend, she lived with me, but she was at work. Oh, you even know who it is. a sort of friend that used to live with me. She texted me, and I'm not going to spend an hour talking about it, but basically she texted me and she said something about, could I pay for something on my card because she needed to buy something and she'd give me the money. And that seemed perfectly logical. I'm thinking, oh, maybe she's seen something on eBay and she wants to give me cash. I'm like, yeah, you know, blah, 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 blah. Long story short, somebody had hacked into her account. This wasn't her messaging me at all. And this person was talking to me for ages, and then it turned out that this thing they wanted to buy was $5,000, and I'm like, where the fuck she got $5,000 from? So she ain't got $5,000. What's she buying with $5,000? And I knew she was at work, and I'm like, look, wait till you have your break, and I'll ring you. You know, we can sort it out. She's like, no, I need to sort it now because blah blah blah. And these people are so manipulative. They know exactly how to talk to you, exactly how to sort of lure you in. And I even got to the point where, I can't remember the exact details, to be honest, but she said, it was actually a bloke in Somerset, She said she was transferring £5,000 to my account, and like, could I deal with it? And basically, what this bloke had done, it got hold of my details through me talking to him, and he'd taken out a loan. I have no idea how he managed to take out a loan instantaneously, but apparently these things can take place. And put the money into my account. So he'd taken out a loan, the money had appeared in my account, then I was supposed to transfer this £5,000 to his account. So he's then got the £5,000, I've then got £5,000 debt. But because £5,000 magically appears in your bank account, you're like, oh, well, that must be okay then, because you don't realise it's a bloody loan in your own name. And it was awful, because I rang the bank, because I knew something was wrong. And it's like, you've got a gut feeling and you know something's wrong, but because you're talking to your mate, you're like, I don't really understand what's going off. And I was pregnant, so my head's like buzzing anyway. I'm like, I don't understand. And the first person that I spoke to at the bank, I've actually got a problem with, because I said, like, this money's appeared in my bank account. Is it really there? And he's like, yeah, it's really there. It's not a problem. There's no fraud or anything. He should have been checking shit. He would have been able to tell that it was a loan, but he just didn't bother. So fast forward a little bit, and I've sort of like, I'm panicking now. I've still got this £5,000 in my account, but my friend is now telling me that they're going to ring the police because that's their money and they want it back. And then I thought, well, I chuffing know it's not who you're pretending to be, because they're in a cat and else chance she talked to me like that. So I rang the bank back, and I'm like crying down the phone, like proper dramatic, like, I'm such an idiot, I can't believe I fell for it, oh my god, I'm really, really sorry. And there's this poor woman that works for the bank on the other end of the phone saying, it's all right, we can just reverse the loan. I know, I'm so stupid. And he came home while I'm having the conversation with the woman at the bank, crying my eyes out. Oh, God. But it could have ended differently.
I've been lucky. I've not had any real... I think I had the banks block my card because somebody tried to spend some money on it and they said it was out of character.
Yeah.
So they never actually got any money. And then my PayPal got done.
Yeah, my PayPal got done. They got my password off Steam, and yeah, it was the same password. Oh, shoot me.
Because
I actually saw that happening.
They were all right, but then they brought 3 pairs of trainers off eBay.
All right.
And then they'd gone out and spent 40 odd quid on pizzas. And I said to the woman on the phone with PayPal, I said, who the hell spends 40 odd quid on pizzas? Well, I don't like cheese, so I don't eat pizzas.
Yeah.
She was like, oh, that's about normal. It's like, what?
Yeah, Domino's. If you get takeaway from Domino's.
I wouldn't spend 40 odd quid on a flipping pizza.
Oh, well, that's definitely not me. I'm too tight.
A meaty feast. I said, well, there's an address it's been sent to. And they went, yeah, we won't bother chasing it up. They gave me my money back and said, look, you want to change these settings. So I've got it now that even when I log on to PayPal, I get a text message and all that sort of double verification.
It's not worth them chasing it up because it's too much like hard work. I say when my PayPal got done, I'm not sure how it happened or how I twigged it, but for some reason I happened to have my PayPal account open and I could see the transactions going through. I'm like, what's this? I haven't bought what's this? Is it me? So I think I actually rang the police and I was like, they're doing, you expect the SWAT team to appear. I'm like, they're doing it now. I can see the transactions going through. Find them, do something. Like, yeah, we're not really interested.
Just ring PayPal.
Yeah, and they weren't really bothered either. I was just like changed my password and what have you, but no. God, I don't know. Bloody scammers.
What happened to the days of just having a prince from Nairobi send you an email?
What was that? There was a sketch where I can't remember what comedian it was, and they had like a Nigerian prince or whatever sat there, like making out it was real. Like, I just need. I'm not putting it in a Nigerian accent. I just need somebody to transfer this money for me and blah, blah, blah. And they were making out it were real. And they was like, why will nobody talk to me? Oh. No, it's funny because it's okay. But there's like some people out there that, normally older people as well, which like is awful. That get like really done over for like hundreds of thousands of pounds, and
yeah.
I mean, the gardeners that I hired hopped it. We weren't particularly out of pocket much, but it still just makes you feel like an absolute twat. It's like, oh, I knew it wasn't right. Why didn't I say something? Why didn't I do something? And you just sort of allow these things to happen, and they don't give a shit. They literally see you, they knock on the door and they're like, ha, victim, mug, ripe for the picking. They just don't give a shit. There's no sort of like, oh, how do they sleep at night? They just don't give a shit. Maybe
money.
Yeah, maybe they were wronged at some point, or they think the world owes them something. I don't know.
They probably took all the rubbish from your garden and fly tipped it.
Oh yeah, and left some of that rubbish at my house. That wasn't my rubbish. There's a battered orange wheelbarrow sat on my house that I still need to get rid of. Oh, dearie me. We've not really made much of a dent in my list. It's 10 to 9 and we've like housework, robo-vax, the state of women being assaulted, getting done over by scammers.
Serious subjects.
It is. I might save my juicy conversations for next week. But I had a bit of a I think I treated myself to a movie night on Tuesday, and I rewatched American Psycho. Have you ever seen it?
That Christian Bale, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, it's
I've
quite
seen it
old.
once. Very good.
It's quite old. But I think for the first time watching it, I've probably seen it about 4 times maybe. When I got to the end, I was a bit like, so how much was just in his head and how much was actually reality? And I don't think I'd picked up on that before. Because he said that he'd like killed this person, and he was told no, he hadn't killed the person because somebody'd had lunch with him or something. But then because of all the name confusion, it might not have actually been that person. But no, it is a really good film, and Christian Bale is such a good actor. Have you seen The Machinist?
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but that's the one he lost all the weight for, wasn't it?
Yeah. That's such a good film. That's like sort of a surreal, what's true, what's going off in his head business.
I'm not very good with them films. Shutter Island completely does my noggin in.
Oh, I love Shutter Island.
The times I've watched it, and it's like, is he an inmate? Isn't he? Oh, I don't fucking know, and I still can't work it out.
Is my take on it, which again I've watched that about 4 times, and it wasn't until the last time I saw it that I felt like I really pieced it together. He is an inmate, but they're trying to get him through this process to see if he can get through it psychologically to be sane at the end of it. And when he gets towards the end of this process and he realises that he's not actually a cop, but he is actually a patient, and he realises why he went mad in the first place, he basically decides that he wants to be, I don't know if they'll lobotomise him at the end or whatever it is, but it decides and pretends he's crazy at the end because he doesn't want to accept the things that happened in his life. I think his wife killed their kids or something.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. And when he's like in reality and he's remembered all that, he can't deal with it. So it's right at the end, they just drop this little nugget and you can tell that he's with it, but he's pretending that he's not. I know it's a bit...
I need to rewatch it again, but it'll get me angry.
No, if you...
What was the other thing that got me? An Inspector Calls.
I don't think I've seen that.
And I watched a really good adaptation of it. And it's where the bloke turns up. Do you know the story?
No.
So basically it's this family. There's like 4 of them, I think 4 or 5 of them. And this police officer turns up and says, look, there's been a murder. Someone close to you has been murdered. And they sort of all go around the table. And then they sort of all have a reason to have murdered this person or whatever. And then I think he literally goes away or steps out the room or something. And then the phone rings and it's the police and they're just going, yeah, we've heard there's been a murder. And it's the initial call. So you're like, well, who the hell was that guy who was pretending to be police? Was he the murderer? Or, I mean, the story's quite old as well, I think.
No, I've not seen that. I might try and add that to the ever-growing to-watch list. As long as it's free on something, I don't mind. But yeah, if you watch Shutter Island again, and you know that he is not a cop, so get that set in your head. What you need to concentrate on is more towards the end.
Yeah.
Because he realises what's going on, but he basically says, sort me out. I don't want to be in reality anymore. There's a really good film. What's it called? Switchblade Romance. It's French. And it's kind of hard to describe because you think... Well, it's about 2 friends. One of them is definitely gay, 2 girls. But then you see them being attacked by this crazy sort of... what's it called? Chainsaw Massacre type guy. Yeah. Chainsaw Massacre type guy. But it turns out that the Chainsaw Massacre guy is actually the gay woman and she's got split personality or whatever. So the first time you watch it, you think, they've been attacked by this crazy man or whatever. And then basically you need to watch it again, knowing that it is just the female the whole time to then sort of understand it. And I don't mind films that you have to watch like 3 times to get it, because it's sort of... It peels off another layer every time you watch it, which is quite a interesting level of involvement. Obviously you can't get that in the cinema, but like mindfuck films. I don't know. I like them sometimes, but I like watching girly trash like Bloody Legally Blonde sometimes.
I think I've spoke to you before about it. It's not a film; it's a book. But have you read or got? I think it's called S, or The Ship of Theseus.
You've mentioned it, but no.
Oh, it's the idea's a J.J. Abrams idea, and it's written by someone else, but the whole book is like a prop, so it's full of bits and pieces. There's like postcards, and there's even a napkin with a map drawn on it.
Oh wow!
And there's notes written in the book in the margins from the idea is the book's taken from a library, and then this bloke starts writing these notes in it, and this student sort of picks it up and writes these other notes, and they start deducting this book and what happened to the ship and all that.
Okay.
And then there's like all these maps and postcards and little bits and pieces. It looks really good. I've got it. I keep meaning to read it and try and deduce it, but I need to give it the time.
Yeah.
I'll need to sit down with a notebook and even like jot down on what page it was found in and such, just to try and
That's
find.
a whole like other level of interaction then, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the Ship of Theseus. I think it's just under S.
Yeah.
On Amazon. But it's well worth it. It's a beautiful thing anyway.
Yeah. I think my pile of books to read is just slowly getting bigger and bigger, and I still can't get my head in a book at the minute. I don't think I'm going to be able to read anything properly until my son's like 10 years older, because I just can't concentrate. It's just too much. But I did try a couple of
20 quid on Amazon at the minute.
Oh, that's not bad.
Ship of Theseus. It's just called S. It says a young woman picks up a book left behind by a stranger. Inside it are his margin notes, which reveal a reader entranced by the story and its mysterious author. She responds with notes of her own, leaving the book for the stranger, and so begins an unlikely conversation that plunges them both into the unknown. The book, Ship of Theseus, is the final novel by the prolific but enigmatic writer named V. M. Straker, in which a man with no past is shanghaied into a strange ship with a monstrous crew and launches on a disorientating and perilous journey. The writer is the incendiary and secretive subject of one of the world's greatest mysteries, a revolutionary about whom the world knows nothing apart from the words he wrote and the rumours that swirl around him. The readers are Jennifer and Eric, a college senior and a disgraced grad student, both facing crucial decisions about who they are, who they might become, and how much they're willing to trust another person with their passions, hurts, and fear.
You know what might be really interesting is if you like streamed reading it, but you had like a camera on you and you had a camera on the book, and you like, I don't know, did like an hour every week or something.
I know, but I am so shit at puzzles.
Oh.
You've seen that with D&D. I get to the point where I tend to overthink everything.
Yeah, I do that.
And the puzzle can be really simple.
Yeah.
You know, the puzzle would be really simple, and I've gone off on some tangent about, but look, the thickness of the paper. It's the thickness of the paper's got to be different. It's
well, do we need?
And it's like, no, it's just not got any vowels in it, and you're like, fucking hell.
A better example, when we played Call of Cthulhu, and there was like literally a sign that said something like blow up the door or whatever, and we're like, no, we need to move these body parts into this room and it will release a secret door because we can't blow it up. It's like, what the fuck?
It's like one of my games.
Yeah, you were running it. I think were it Halloween? It was a Halloween game, and literally all we needed to do was use the dynamite to blow the door open, and we're moving jars into different rooms to see. Oh,
that was the necropolis when you were in the Egyptian tomb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, I just want to go to bed. Will you fucking just finish this?
That was a convention scenario, so it's set to be played in an hour.
Oh, God.
And I think it was like 4.5 hours, and then I think I just ended it because it was like 11:30.
It's like, it's 11:30 and I want to go home. Can you just like do it now? Our group, though, I mean, we are a little bit sort of meandering, to say the least. I mean, what did we do last week? It took us like an entire session to go to a pub next door, go to sleep, get up the next day and talk to a couple of people and decide what we were going to do next. It's like,
Yeah.
It's fun though. I don't mind. I'm quite happy pissing about.
I need to do more Cthulhu's.
We need to do more of everything. Oh yeah. Oh, we could talk about that before we finish. I'll save all my other lovely bits for next week, and hopefully I can figure out how to get the desktop audio included. But I have done my first Kickstarter. Oh.
Cool. I did see that you'd posted it. I did have a quick look, but I was at work, so I couldn't watch the video. What was it?
Oh, my Google Chrome has just shut down. That's very rude. I'll look at it on my phone. It doesn't really matter. Okay, it's called Solemn Vale. It's an RPG, obviously. A folk horror role-playing game set in Solemn Vale, an isolated town in southwest England. And it looks very Wicker Man,
Cool.
Isolated little village, creepy goings on. I might be able to show you. This is probably a bit creepy. Oh, come on, Facebook. Do your job. There we go. So this is a little video, but it's only the sound you really need to listen to. Da-da-da.
Mm-hmm.
Click on the link and I'll just tell you what it says. I've gone for the hardback version. I didn't really want the softback one. I've got my Starfinder book in the softback copy, but I think the hardback one was quite expensive if I remember correctly. Yeah.
Brought it up. I can see it's funded.
Yeah. So that means that I get it, don't I?
It should be going ahead, yes. They had a goal of £3,612. They're now sat at £11,023. 243 backers.
Yeah, it says Solemn Vale is a quaint town in southwest England, isolated from the world by a jagged coastline and dense woodland, scarred by mining works, thrashing and rioting at the threat of closure. The close-knit community gives rise to a village mentality where the newest visitors and smallest infractions can become sources of gossip and scandal overnight. It is a land steeped in history where forgotten sects pray to pagan gods in the dark corners of Thatcher's Britain. So it's like set in the 70s. So there's like this Thatcher mining thing going off, which, I'm northern, so that's like quite a, a big thing when you're from up north anyway. But I love all that. Like The Wicker Man is like one of my favourite films. I said that about a lot of films. I've got quite a big collection of one of my favourite films. The original, yeah. No, fuck Nick Cage off. The original one.
I've met him. Edward Woodward.
Have you?
Yeah.
What, in the same way that you've met Mary Berry?
No, he used to live up the road.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah, he lived about 8-9 miles away.
Oh, wow. Well, that's so cool. I love that film, and I remember when I used to work in the prison, when we did nights, we'd like watch videos and stuff sometimes, and we'd take it in turns to bring them in. And without a second thought, I brought in The Wicker Man because I think it's a really good film. And everybody watched it, and then we're a bit like, oh, that were a bit weird, wasn't it? And I just sort of forgot for a moment that my taste in things isn't necessarily everybody else's taste. But they watched it. Oh, there we are. There's the picture. This is what I wanted to show you. So I should have the nice pink hardcover copy coming. It's not till like July next year or something.
July 22.
Yeah. The limited edition one does look pretty swish, to be fair. But that was like an extra 20 quid or something, and I thought, nah, I'm not, you can get $50 out of me, but...
It's unusual, actually, that it says they're from Los Angeles, so...
Yeah, I don't understand how that works.
Living over there, but...
1970s Thatcher Britain. It's obviously somebody that knows what they're talking about, so I don't know. But I've seen quite a few things that I've considered backing and never, actually done it. And I saw that, and I don't know, it just sort of spoke to me. I was like, oh my god, this looks like totally my bag, so I will purchase it. So next year.
Don't think I've got any on order.
What, no Kickstarters?
No.
Oh dear.
I did have one that I was backing, and then I cancelled it because it was going to be the print-on-demand job.
Oh, okay.
But then they said, no, we're going to print it as a proper book.
Yeah.
So then it was like, well, I've then got to wait for you to get it back to the States and then get it shipped over here. And it just ends up adding all cost.
Yeah.
Because it depends because we're not charged VAT on books, so you shouldn't have an import charge.
Yeah.
But if they put a game on the certificate...
Oh, I see.
They then go, oh yeah, you got VAT on top of that. And it's like, oh, you bastards. So I personally do try to keep the ones from abroad to when I'm feeling a bit flusher.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I'm
it's
still waiting on my Beowulf.
Oh yeah. I'm looking forward to.
I've got the PDF.
Seeing that. Yeah.
But I'm kind of waiting because I got all the inspiration tokens and all the maps and stuff coming with it, so I want to play it in person first.
Yeah. What, Beowulf?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's being printed. He's got all the other add-ons ready, so he's just waiting for him to come back from the printers. So hopefully that's soon. No,
that sounds cool. We're going to have too much to do in person. Although I was reading... I mean, to be honest, I try and stay away from the news now because it just gives me a headache. But even though it... Go on.
So going back to your game quickly, is that a whole system? Or is that off another system? Because I couldn't see anything that said it was for like 5e or...
Yeah, somebody asked a question about the dice rules or something, and they said to read the website or whatever. But in the add-ons for the pledges, they're selling sets of dice, and they're all D6s. So that sort of answered the question enough for me. I thought, oh, you must be doing some sort of like whatever it's called they use for Alien.
Oh, the year 0.
Yeah, because it's just D6s.
Dice pool.
Yeah.
Which is a system I like.
It's simple, isn't it? It's nice and easy. But so the story took me, so I didn't sort of. But I know
They
it's not 5e.
I am just reading the questions, and they have just put we plan on having UK friendly shipping.
Oh, okay.
So that just means that they'll send all of the ones for the UK on a pallet to some it's normally like a game shop over here,
Yeah.
and then they send it out from there, so that then you don't get the charges or anything.
Oh, that's much better. I never even thought about that, to be honest.
No, it does.
I just got eyes bigger than me, credit card probably, and went, oh, let's do that.
I need to stop looking at it because I don't need it.
But yeah, like all our restrictions are supposed to end on the 21st of July or whatever it is, June, I can't remember now. But we might still apparently have to wear masks. I know this is like wishy-washy to say because they'll change everything anyway. But, next slide, please. Professor Chris Whitty has said recently that we might still be wearing masks, like over the winter and everything. So, obviously, we wouldn't be able to go to our gaming store, really, and play wearing masks. I mean, maybe it would be different to how it was before, but it's, like how it was like too bloody noisy. And if we were all trying to play wearing masks, I'm not sure that would.
Yeah, we'll have to cross that bridge when we get to it.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're going to do or how it's going to pan out.
I mean, hopefully the studio in the garden will be finished, so that will hopefully be an option to play stuff. But it is nice to get away from my own house on occasion. God, I do, in like 2 or 3 years or something, hopefully, when things are, I hate saying normal, but we can like look back on all this and do you remember when our entire lives stopped for 18 months? Oh, jolly good fun that was.
Lovely.
Being trapped in the house for a year, not going anywhere, seeing anybody, having all your shopping delivered.
It's history in the making.
I know, but I do miss seeing everybody and being able to play in person. But, we shall see. But yeah, very much absolute random shite tonight.
Same as always.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe a bit too much.
I don't know how nerdy we've been this evening. Oh, we have talked about RPGs and stuff and Kickstarters, so it's not been too bad. But I think we'll leave it there. I'll go and take my makeup off. Don't forget to take your eyeliner off. Oh, you could wear a bit of eyeliner. It'd pick out your eyes, on your 1080 camera.
I know, but if I take my glasses off, I look like I've got these right little piggy eyes.
I think you just get used to seeing yourself with glasses on, though, don't you? Because when you take them off, it's like, ooh.
Damn, I can't see nothing now.
See, what? Where am I? I don't know what I'm doing. Right, shall leave it at that this evening. So, thank you anybody that has popped in and popped off. It's fun as always. I do quite like nattering on about crap for a couple of hours, I think.
Still very much a learning curve.
Oh god, yeah. I would like to think that, in like 6 months' time, we could maybe like look back at these videos and like review them and do some stuff on YouTube saying,
Cringe.
look, this is how we started out. It was awful, but here we are now, real streamers and creators knowing what we're doing, what buttons do what and what have you. So I think we'll get there. So thank you for the talk.
No, thank you. Thank you everyone for watching, whether it be live or on the video.
Yeah. And we shall see you this time next week. TTFN.
Cheers, guys.
Bye.
Bye.